I don't really have any problems with Animal Jam, but as a game that claims to be educational, it really falls behind when it comes to its Archosaurus. You'll notice I'm not calling them dinosaurs, because the Pteranodon isn't a dinosaur, the rest are, but Archosaurus covers all of them. I understand that their designs are stylized, but they don't look like stylized versions of accurate Archosaurs. They look like stylized versions of what people thought they looked like in the 70s. The worst offender, in my opinion, is the Parasaurolophus. They took duck-billed dinosaur way too seriously and actually gave it a duck bill. But the worst part is, it only stands on 2 legs. Parasaurolophus was most likely mainly quadrupedal, but could probably stand on its hind legs for a short amount of times to reach, like, high up greenery. But the way it looks just walking on 2 legs is insane. Also, its tail posture is all wrong. They gave it this little curly tail. Like many other dinosaurs, the Parasaurolophus didn't have a very movable tail. It just sticks straight out for balance. It doesn't curl up and move around or anything. I talk about the head being way too big, but I really understand that because it's stylized. It's an animal in a kid's game. One thing that really bugs me is I know that they could have made it quadrupedal because the pet version, when it's a baby, is quadrupedal. But yeah, here's my design for how I would have designed it in the Animal Jam style. Could definitely make the head bigger because it's stylized. I didn't really do that, but you could. The next worst one is a hard choice between the Tyrannosaurus and the Pteranodon. Both are questionable looking. I'll start with the Pteranodon. Firstly, it doesn't look anything like a Pteranodon, apart from the little pointy thing on its head. The wings are so off, and the legs are wrong, and the whole jaw-mouth thing. It doesn't look like a Pteranodon. Also, Pteranodons don't have teeth. They had very long, thin, sharp beaks. They could have made it some other sort of pterosaur, because I'm sure there's other pterosaurs that look like that. But the Pteranodon does not look like that. Also, they didn't give the Pteranodon any sort of feathers. The Pteranodon is a pterosaur, and pterosaurs at least had pycnofibers over their bodies. So they would have been a bit fuzzy. Also, they gave it a tail. I'm not even gonna get into how wrong that is, but they gave it like a full tail. Yeah, so this is how I would have designed it if it was an Animal Jam, making it look more accurate, like an actual Pteranodon and not some random obscure pterosaur. Next up is the T-Rex. The worst thing about it is its posture is so bad. They gave it an almost raptor-like posture. But still, even if they were going for a raptor's posture, they still got that wrong too. The next worst thing about it is the tail, of course. The tail has a little, like, notch in it. It's, like, curled. Yet again, it would have just probably had a straight-out tail, just going straight out. Probably had a bit more movement than the Parasaurolophus, but it wouldn't be curling upwards. I get it stylized, but the head and the feet are way too big. But that's okay, because it's stylized. But one thing that's not okay is it has visible teeth. It would have had lips that cover its teeth. It wouldn't have visible teeth poking out in all directions. Also, one more thing, which I get is a bit debatable, but I still think they should have added some sort of feathers on it, even if it's just proto-feathers. I know it's debatable whether adult Tyrannosauruses had feathers. The baby ones probably were all downy, like to keep warm, but large ones, it's debatable. But I still think they would have at least had some feathers on the tiny little short arms for display. Here's how I designed the Tyrannosaurus in Animal Jam style. Even if with the amount of feathers I gave it, it's not accurate, it would still be more accurate than Animal Jam's design. And also it would look cooler. Next up is the Stegosaurus. It's one of the better ones, but I wish its legs were more beneath it than to the side. And its tail posture has the same problem with all the others. It should be straight out, high up, straight out, not curly. I didn't even bother editing a version of it for this, because the only real problem is the tail and the legs. It wasn't really worth it, and it was also hard to edit. Next is the Triceratops and the Brachiosaurus. Both are the ones I have the least to complain about, except the Triceratops' horns point the wrong way, and also has the same problem with the tail. This tail should be sticking right out. So here's how I design it. Next is the Brachiosaurus. Its head is really big and weirdly shaped. I don't know why they shaped it like that. And its tail is really short, and also curly. If it was accurate, it would have a longer tail, poking more out, and its neck posture is also wrong. Its neck should be more straight than curved backwards and upwards. It should be kind of more straight out, still upwards a bit at an angle, but more straight. Yeah, so this is how I'd design it if it was an animal jam. But yeah, that's really all I have to complain about today. Sorry if this video was kind of negative, but I'm just being honest. I think Animal Jam's archosaurs are really inaccurate, and they should have made them more accurate because it's supposed to be educational. They're showing really outdated depictions of archosaurs to young kids. And I haven't really seen anyone else complain about this, but I just had to because I love extinct things. Also, I just realized I used archosaurs as the term for this, like Animal Jam's archosaurs, but they have more archosaurs than just these, like they have birds and the crocodile, but I'm just talking about extinct ones. So yeah, that's it for today. If you can't tell, I'm autistic.